Welcome. This is the April 21st Wallingford Zoning Board of Appeals meeting. We're going to start the meeting by saying the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Tonight's decision will be published in the Record Journal on Friday, April 25th, 2025. The effective date of your variance will be Friday, April 25th, 2025. The date a certified copy is recorded on the land records. The statutory 15-day appeal period will expire on Sunday, April 11th, 2025. If you commence operations and/or construction during the appeal period, you do so at your own risk. Voting tonight is Mr. Gross, Mr. Wolfer, Ms. Radis, Mr. Rise, and myself, Chairman Russick. First application, 25009, a special exception request for Ruggiero at 55 Hill Avenue, and then 25-010, a variance request for Ruggiero, 55 Hill Avenue. Madam Secretary, do we have any correspondence?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. We have staff comments that read as follows. Applicant seeks garage area of 989 square feet, where 936 square feet maximum is permitted and 364 square feet exists, to construct a 625 square foot detached garage at 55 Hill Avenue in an R18 district. Applicant also seeks a side yard variance request of 10.4 feet, where 20 feet is required, and a front yard variance of 15 feet, where 40 feet is required, to locate the proposed detached garage on the parcel. Property is an undersized corner lot with 2 front yards and 2 side yards, and therefore no means of claiming a minimum setback of 5 feet for a detached garage located in the rear of a parcel. There is an existing 240 square foot shed in the location proposed for the detached garage. Applicant proposes to relocate the shed to a compliant location on the property as depicted on submitted property survey. Mr. Chairman, we also received 2 pieces of correspondence. One received April 17th from Billy and Danielle O'Malley. And we also received a correspondence from Mr. Tyler Galagi, and that was dated Friday, the 18th of April.
Thank you. Welcome.
Hi.
Please state your name and address for the record.
Hi, Thomas Ruggiero. I live at 55 Hill Avenue in town.
Okay, give us an explanation of what you're doing here.
So as far as the special exception, I'll address that first. So my proposal is to build a 25 by 25 foot garage behind my home, which is situated on a corner lot. The garage will be 625 square feet total. This proposal is 53 square feet over the maximum permitted as far as garage space goes with, in the R18 zoning area. I'm asking for this exception for the following reasons. Like most people, I would like more garage space. I have 4 cars, 2 utility trailers, a small John Deere backhoe, which is basically like a large lawnmower. I perform all the maintenance on our personally owned vehicles. I'm a handyman at home, a collector of tools. Currently in my garage, which I plan to move into the proposed garage, I have 2 large toolboxes, a workbench, air compressor, metal storage cabinets, many power tools. I also, as you stated, I have a current shed, which is full of yard tools, lawn equipment, snow blower, walk-behind mower, leaf blower, et cetera, et cetera. In the winter, I like to store my patio furniture in the shed, and obviously, the more things we can store inside is more appealing to the neighborhood rather than leaving things out in the yard. My plans for the garage are to install a car lift which will completely occupy one bay. And to put things into perspective as size, I'm restoring my 1986 Monte Carlo, which is basically a boat. It's a big car. It's over 17 and a half feet long and almost 6.5 feet wide with the doors shut. If you remember the old coupes, the doors are about 4 feet when they're opened. So basically when the car is over 10 feet wide with the car is open. The lift I intend to install is about 11 and a half feet from the outside of the base of it, which should be installed a minimum of 2 feet off of one of the walls. So basically, if I were to install the lift there, that would leave the open bay with about 11 and a half feet from, the end of the lift to the other wall. And again, the average width of most cars is 6 feet. So with that said, that'll leave me around 3 feet on each side to work on the sides of the cars and move around freely. That's without storing anything on the sides of where the cars would be. As far as length goes, when you're looking at the proposed plans, meaning from where the garage doors are to the opposite wall, on that opposite wall, I plan to keep my toolboxes, workbench, cabinets, and everything else along that wall, which I estimate will eat up about 4 feet of floor space, leaving about 21 feet left, which leaves a little bit of room, front and rear, 2 feet or so, depending on what type of car. So I hope that all makes sense. So in conclusion, I'm asking you to consider the special exception on total garage square footage. If approved, it'll allow me to fit 2 vehicles in the garage, along with my tools, workbench, and everything else I had stated. I'm only requesting 53 square feet over the maximum permitted per the zoning regulations. This proposal will not alter the essential character of the neighborhood, as it's a modest request. And the extra space will allow me to work comfortably on the cars with enough space to move around freely on the sides without being pinned against the walls or the car in the opposite bay. Any smaller, if I were to construct any smaller, it'd be very cramped. And that's pretty much what I have to say as far as the special exception. And as noted, my abutting neighbors have no issues with my proposed plans. So do you have any questions?
So, just a couple.
Yeah.
Personal use, no commercial work, no commercial use,
100% personal use.
okay. And this is just all for your cars and your lawn furniture and whatever.
Yeah, and, ultimately, I work on the cars. I change the oil in my cars. I do brakes. I'm not doing major work, but regular maintenance stuff is what I'm looking at. And just more space. I'm good.
All right.
If I could make a 4-car garage, I would ask for that.
That's probably still not big enough.
Yeah.
Get it. Anybody got a question for the applicant? Bob?
Good afternoon.
Hi.
Where do you plan on moving the other shed? Because it just says somewhere on the property.
It's actually in the, I don't know if you guys have a proposed survey. Do you guys have that in front of you?
Yeah.
It's shown there, the opposite of, I guess it's the southeast corner, which is conforming.
Okay. You can drive a car into that one?
It's a shed with a garage door. I guess you could drive a car into it.
Because I don't know if can he store a car in that garage then, if he wanted to, in the shed?
The dimensions determine and the height determines whether it's considered a shed or an accessory structure versus a garage. What you put in it and what you drive in it is
So it's
out of our lane.
makes it an accessory structure then, doesn't make it a garage.
It doesn't make it a garage.
And how high is the ceiling going to be on this? I know it's listed here, but how high are you going to be going? Because you're talking, because I'm only bringing it up because you're talking putting the lift in there.
Yeah, it's going to be 11 feet, and I'm aware of the 15-foot height restriction, and the plans will be conforming with that. I'm going to have a 412 lower of a pitch, so I took that into consideration with the plans.
Okay, that's my concerns. Thank you.
Anybody else have any questions for the applicant? Is anybody here to speak in favor of this application? Anybody here to speak against it? Hearing, seeing none. Do you have anything further you add before I close the public hearing?
No, sir.
Yeah, excuse me,
Oh.
Mr. Chairman. I do have a question.
Go ahead.
And that is, when you put this detached garage in, and I drove by today and I saw where the shed is currently, so that's where it's going to go.
Yep.
Will you be driving in, you'll be driving into that from the side street there?
That's my plans, yes.
Okay. Will a driveway be going in there or no?
Eventually, yeah,
Eventually.
yeah, I haven't gotten
Ah.
that far yet.
And then is that allowable in that? where it is?
If I may, Mr. Chairman, comment on that. That requires, if you're getting a curb cut off of Merwin, you're going to need to see the engineering department for permitting. They will determine whether or not that's allowed. That is not part of this application.
Okay.
And secondly, I would suggest to the board that you condition any approval on that it's no commercial activity, because you may not be doing so, but that exists in the garage, and we know there's a lift
Yeah, sure.
for the future, so.
Okay. We all set? Okay, I'm going to close the public hearing and open up for discussion and possible action by the board.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to accept a special exception request for total garage area of 989 square feet to construct a 625 square foot detached garage at 55 Hill Avenue as shown on proposed plot plan. Land of Thomas M. Ruggiero, 55 Hill Avenue, dated February 21st, 2025, and submitted plans and specs received March 10th, year 25, subject to the conditions of the curb cut being approved by the engineering department. Is that correct?
You don't need to condition it on the curb cut. That's out of,
Oh.
we can't approve or deny that, but the
Oh.
no commercial activity
No commercial use.
with the lift in the garage.
Okay. For no commercial use.
Second.
Motion to approve, Mr. Gross.
Yes.
Mr. Wolfer.
Yes to approve.
Mr. Rice.
Yes to approve.
Ms. Harris. Oh,
Ye-
sorry, Cameron. Ms. Raditz.
Yes. Yes to approve.
My bad. Chairman Russick.
Yes. So your special exception's been approved. Go ahead, Ray.
Mr. Chairman, make a motion for front yard variance for 15 feet where 40 feet is required to locate a 625 square foot detached garage at 55 Hill Avenue as shown on proposed plot plan. Land of Thomas M. Ruggiero, 55 Hill Avenue, dated February 21st, 2025. And submitted plans, specs received March 10th, 2025. So moved.
Put it on the other one.
Okay.
Second.
Motion to approve, excuse me, Mr. Gross. This is the front yard. Mr. Wolfer.
Yes to approve.
Mr. Rice.
Yes to approve.
Ms. Raditz.
Yes to approve.
And Chairman Russick.
Yes. You're all set. Good luck.
Oh, no, we got one
Side
more.
yard.
No,
Oh,
side-
sorry.
side
One
area.
more.
I got excited.
Oh, that's okay. Motion to accept side yard variance request for 10 foot 4 feet where 20 foot is required to locate a 625 square foot detached garage at 55 Hill Avenue as shown in proposed plot plan. Land of Thomas M. Ruggiero, 55 Hill Avenue, dated February 21st, 2025, and submitted plans. Specs received March 10th, 2025. So move.
Second.
This is for side yard. Mr. Gross. Mr. Wolfer.
Yes to approve.
Mr. Rice.
Yes to approve.
Ms. Raditz.
Yes to approve.
And Chairman Russick.
Yes. Now you're all set.
All right.
Good luck.
Thank you. Have a good night.
You too.
Digest.
So
11.
I should have made this announcement before, but if anybody's here for 25-012 for Lucibello at 31 North Plains Highway, it's continued to next month. All right, next variance request is 25-011, a variance request for wooding at 10 Colonial Lane. Madam Secretary, do we have any correspondence?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, we have staff comments that read as follows. Applicant requests a side yard of 5 feet where 20 feet is required, a rear yard of 5 feet where 30 feet is required, and building coverage of 28% where 15% max is permitted and 18% exists to construct and locate a detached garage at 10 Colonial Lane in an R18 district. This parcel predates the inception of zoning and is non-conforming in area. Only 41% of the minimum lot size, or 18,000 square feet, for the zone at 7,518 square feet. Building coverage exceeding maximum permitted, and the dwelling is non-compliant regarding front and side setback requirements.
Let me shut that thing off.
There is currently no garage on the site. The proposed detached garage is located in the rear, which, if located entirely behind the dwelling, would be permitted a minimum 5-foot setback to side and rear boundaries. 10 Colonial Lane has only 23.2 feet between the dwelling and the rear boundary. 23 feet is less than either dimension of the proposed garage, rendering it impossible to comply with the setbacks, 30 feet to the rear, or avail as of right option to be 5 feet from either side or rear boundary without the setback variance requests. Likewise, if the lot was of minimum area for the zone and not only 41% of the minimum, building coverage would be compliant with the proposed garage. And that's it.
Thank you. Welcome.
Thank
Please
you.
state your name and address for the record.
Keith Wooding, 10 Colonial Lane,
Could
Wallingford.
you just pull the microphone closer to you? There you go.
Keith Wooding, 10 Colonial Lane, Wallingford.
Okay, could you please explain your application?
Yes, basically, about 6 months ago, I had to have my parents move in with myself and my wife. They were both diagnosed with cancer, and so we had to move all of their stuff to our house, and obviously, lots of stuff comes along with with them. We have run out of space in our house to keep things, and so what we wanted to do was put up a garage so that we can put some storage in there and be able to put the cars inside there. My father has a Mustang that he bought, and right now we currently have to keep it in a storage garage off-site. So we would like to put up a garage there to be able to do all of those things. And because, as you know, my lot's much smaller than the zoned area is, there's nowhere really for me to put it
Right.
that would actually comply anywhere. Technically, my house doesn't comply where it is right now. So that's why I'm looking for both the side and back variances as well as the overall coverage variance for the building.
Okay, so it's just going to be for personal use?
Just personal use, no commercial.
activity.
Just storage for stuff and for the cars.
Okay. Has anybody got any questions for the applicant? Bob?
How you doing? How big is the garage going to be?
Right now, we're looking at 24 by 30.
And what are you going to do with the shed that's right, because you're putting the garage right at the end of the driveway?
Yeah, the shed's gone.
You're going to dispose of the shed?
Yeah,
so
it's
not
just an
gonna take
old
up-
metal
Right, I know.
Costco shed, so it's going in a dumpster when the dumpster shows up.
So the Mustang wasn't the car that was in the driveway today?
It is.
Okay, because I was going to say, this could look car.
I'm sorry, I know my wife came out and was asking, somebody was taking pictures there
That
this
was
morning,
me.
and she came out and she asked who was taking pictures.
That was me, so that's why I look at the phone,
Yeah.
because so it reminds me of the property and so
Yep.
forth. I saw the Mustang there, and I said, well, it's a nice car.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I just got to say that the area is real small, and I probably wouldn't go for it, but every house in that neighborhood, not every house, many houses have garages
Yeah.
built in them and around that size, so they must have gone for it at some time. So precedent, I would vote for it.
Anybody else got any questions for the applicant? Is anybody here to speak in favor of this application? Anybody here to speak against it? Hearing, seeing none. Do you have anything further you'd like to add before I close the public hearing?
No, I think I'm good, thank you.
Okay, going to close the public hearing and open up for discussion and possible action by the board.
Mr. Chairman. Yep. I'd like to make a motion To accept a side yard variance request of 5 feet where 20 feet is required to construct and locate a detached garage at 10 Colonial Lane as shown on limited property boundary survey, zoning location survey, proposed detached garage, land of Sean and Christina Gustav, 10 Colonial Lane, dated 6/4/24, and submitted plans received 3/14/2025. So moved.
Second.
Motion to approve. This is for side yard. Mr. Gross.
Yes.
Mr. Wolfer.
Yes to approve.
Mr. Rice.
Yes to approve.
Ms. Raditz.
Yes to approve.
And Chairman Russick.
Yes.
Make a motion for a rear yard variance request of 5 feet where 30 feet is required to construct a located detached garage at 10 Colonial Lane as shown on limited property boundary survey, zoning location survey, proposed detached garage, land of Sean and Christina Gustav, 10 Colonial Lane, dated 6/4/24, and submitted plans received 3/14/2025. So moved.
Second.
For rear yard, Mr. Gross.
Yes.
Mr. Wolfer.
Yes to approve.
Mr. Rice.
Yes to approve.
Ms. Raditz.
Yes to approve.
And Chairman Russick.
Yes.
And finally, move building coverage variance request of 28% where 15% max is permitted and 18% exists to construct and locate a detached garage at 10 Colonial Lane as shown on limited property boundary survey, zoning location survey, proposed detached garage, land of Sean and Christine Gustavin, I'll get that yet. Anyway, 10 Colonial Lane, dated 6/4/24, and submitted plans received 3/14/2025. So moved.
Second.
Motion to approve the building coverage. Mr. Gross.
Yes.
Mr. Wolfer.
Yes to approve.
Mr. Rice.
Yes to approve.
Ms. Raditz.
Yes to approve.
And Chairman Russick.
Yes. You're all set. Good luck.
Thank
Okay, the next variance request is 25-006, a variance request for a Tello at 360 Woodhouse Avenue. Madam Secretary, do we have any correspondence?
Yes, we do, Mr. Chairman. We have staff comments that read as follows. Applicant seeks variance approval for accessory structure area of 400 square feet, where 300 square feet max is permitted, an accessory structure height of 12.3 feet, where 10 feet max is permitted, to allow a pool house/accessory building at 360 Woodhouse Avenue in an RU 80 district. Applicant has erected an oversized accessory structure with no zoning approval and no building, plumbing, electrical permits. In-ground pool was permitted and installed with plumbing, electrical, and gas permitted for the pool, but not permitted to any accessory building. Applicant applied to the Inland Wetlands Committee or Commission for a 200-square-foot accessory structure, which would not require a building permit or zoning location survey, yet erected a structure twice the size and exceeding height allowances. Applicant sought after-the-fact zoning and wetlands approval January 2025 to obtain building permits. On January 31st, 2025, the applicant was advised the property was in violation and could not receive zoning approval to permit as structure was erected in violation of Section 6.2 regarding accessory structures. This ZBA application is required in order to allow the structure to remain as constructed and remedy the aforementioned violations. Should the ZBA approve such variance requests, conditions should be made that the structure may not include the facilities/amenities or mechanicals creating/defining a detached dwelling unit. We also have correspondence dated today, April 21st, 2025. It was also received today from Stephen Satonic and Deborah Milano Satonic of 2 Wheatfield Drive. And that's it.
Thank you. Welcome. Please pull the microphone up to you. Please state your name and address for the record.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Nerio Tello.
Can you pull the microphone close to you so we can hear you? You can move it. Pull it close. There you go. There you go.
My name is Nerio Tello. So I am from 360 Woodhouse Avenue. So, yeah, I came tonight because, I was building the pool house too big. That's what I thought. The pool company, they're supposed to pull a permit for me. But I should came here and check the permits, but I never did it. So I built the pool house. After I built, I called it the building department for inspection, but they told me you never pulled a permit. So I know it was violations, a lot of things going on over there, and I just, that's why I came tonight and see what's going to happen here. I just only a pool house, I don't have no idea you can't build any more than 300 square feet.
Okay. Amy, in all this, is that correct that he called for an inspection? Do you know anything about that?
I do not know anything about that, and as I've noted in my staff comments, the pool companies pull permits for the pool, which they did. They had the proper permits for their in-ground pool. It was noted that there was an accessory structure to be erected on a wetlands permit, separate issue, that was 200 square feet, so would not have required a building permit or zoning approval. That's not what was erected. So therefore, no permits. So perhaps, I can't speak to whether they called or did not for an inspection, because it wouldn't have required a permit had it been as it was proposed.
Okay, I just didn't know if anybody had heard that's how part of this all.
I believe you have the building documents included in your packet as well, which led to this. So when there was an inspection evidently in January 2024, and that noted that there was a pool shed there, or a pool house that was not permitted by the building department.
So in doing all this, there's also pictures of you're putting some drainage in that's going into the wetlands also? And what are you building on the inside of this supposed pool house? Because, are you putting showers? What's going in there?
Yeah, I like to put a shower inside the pool house.
Okay.
Yeah, but all the drainage with the airing, look over there, that was already there before. I just fixed it because the water was splitting right over the driveway. And that's why I just told her, I said, I just try and fix it because that water is going to, in the winter, so much water is going to the driveway. And get all frogs in there, you know what I mean? So that's why I try and fix it. But, it's not like I just want to throw the water against the neighbor. That's what he came to my house the other day, and he got mad, because he said, why you throwing all the water towards my house? I said, I didn't try and do that. I like to do it the right way. That's why I came and I talked to Aaron, and but I try and fix it, everything. I'm not going to just leave it like that and keep doing these violations.
Okay, so you don't have any way you're to take and make this smaller so you don't need all these variances and correct the problems?
I mean, it's already built there, but I mean, I know with no permits, no nothing. But I mean, I really love it, having, a little bigger. That's, I do everything myself. Okay, I don't pay any companies to do that. Everything is done myself. So, like I say, I really like to have that big if I can. Yeah.
Has anybody got any questions? All right, go ahead, Bob.
You're saying in your pool house, you're going to have a shower with drainage? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Where are you tying the drainage into?
To the sewer inside the house,
It's a sewer inside the house?
Yeah.
You are?
in
Okay,
the basement, yeah.
you are. And you've
Yeah.
got a permit to do that?
I mean, I'm gonna have to pull the permits to do all this, yeah.
So you have a permit to do that, to tie it into the sanitary in the house?
That's what, when I called the building apartment, they told me you don't have no permit. That's when I came here and try and pull a permit, and they told me you gotta go to her to do all the paperwork.
Okay, so
You know,
you've got,
I just moved to Wallingford 2 years ago. I didn't have too much idea everything about this kind of things I had to do. It's the first time that I try and build something on my property.
okay.
Ray?
Is the interior of this pool house now, is this completed in there?
No.
You have nothing,
No, just the frame.
you have no running water or anything in there?
No.
No electric?
Right now, nothing, no. But I want, of course, it's got to be electric and everything. Because it's going to be shower in there, so.
Everything pretty much froze when he found out that he needed to.
Could you please state your name and address for the
My
record?
name is Araceli Tello at 360 Woodhouse Ave.
Thank you very much.
This picture that was given to us, is he aware of this picture?
I have another copy that just came into the office today
Can
from
you
his
see this
neighbor.
from
I don't
there?
know if they provided him. Okay.
What is the
That's the drainage where he's talking about.
drainage from where?
With the guy, Steve, can complain.
From where?
The drainage is going from the gutters,
The
from the
neighbors
patios.
complaining, so it's like a curtain drain evidently, but there's no telling whether it was there or if he put it in or what.
That looks like it was just put in, you know? Yeah.
That drainage, I just extended a little bit more what it was before.
You did?
Yeah.
So you made it bigger.
I make a little bit, because before, all the water splits right in the driveway. So now I just pass the driveway a little bit.
But this is behind the house.
No, that's the shed in there.
But it's behind the house,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
not in front. You're not,
No, that's on the,
so all the water from the house forward, you're diverting any of that water?
so I got to connect, it's not connected yet. I got to connect the downspouts from the back of the house and the patio. That's where we're going on that drain.
And this goes all the way to the neighbor's property line?
Not all the way, I mean,
But how
just,
close? How close?
I don't know, maybe 500 feet, something like that.
Oh, it's 500 feet
Yeah, it
away?
was, I mean, just under my property.
Well, your property abuts his property, though. at
No,
some
I didn't
point.
pass to his property.
Oh.
I stole my property there.
No, but how close does your property come to his property? The property lines?
From,
No, not from here. You abut his property.
um,
Your property's next to his property.
yeah. But his house is all the way down.
But his property is
Yeah.
next to your property.
Mm-hmm.
Touches your property.
Right.
Have you roughed in the electrical and plumbing? Is it roughed in? Did you start it?
No.
There's nothing, there's no conduit, no piping, nothing in the shed, in the pool house?
The pipe for the drainage for the bathroom, yeah, is there. I got a video, I take a video.
So for the shower, are you putting a toilet in
Yeah.
too? A toilet also?
Yeah.
I would caution, point of order,
Yeah.
that the definition of a dwelling unit, whether being used or not, is full sanitary, cooking and sleeping facilities. You're creating a dwelling unit by allowing a restroom in there and a shower. Half bath is different.
And then,
I would limit that in condition and no plumbing, and they need separate permits for that because it will impact the water and sewer systems if you're on city water down there and sewer, or
Yeah.
okay. Because around the corner it's on wells, so that would certainly have an impact. And the drainage issue is being handled in wetlands. That is not a ZBA issue.
is that city water out there? You have cities, you have sewers out there
Yeah.
and city water coming in? No
Yeah.
well, you don't have a well out there? Okay. So I'm not positive.
That information, I think, we're blurring the lines
No, I
with the
understand.
drainage. I mean, it's just to
Understand.
paint
No,
the
he was-
picture that there's an awful lot going on in this property.
So the one-
But the nature of this evening is relative to the height and size of that accessory structure, and that not become a detached dwelling unit.
Right.
I wouldn't permit, I would
Or
condition
to-
against
Or to
plumbing.
allow the height of it,
Correct. The size and height.
size and height. And so how did the building inspector come out to your property then? Because you said he came out there, but if you're not ready for him, why did he show?
No, I called to the building department. They told me from there, they called me back, it's an area, you don't have permit for that.
But why did you call him?
Because I told the pool company, pull the permit for me. And I told the size to them. I mean, if you look, and he just put it like for the future permit.
So you
No.
knew the size was too big?
No, I told them 20, I wanted the pool house 20 by 20, but they put it on the paperwork just 20 by 10, which is, I told them 20 by 20, but if they told me, or if they try and pull the permit, they should be telling me. But actually, it's my fault because I never came here and checked the permits. It's not them fault, it's my fault. I understand I don't know, I mean, it's not going to leave anybody there. It's not for living space. It's only, it's just hang, because we had the pool right there, so.
What would be the hardship for us to allow you to keep that size building versus what's allowed there versus what you want to build there? What would be your hardship to want us to approve it?
Could you repeat that?
You need to have a hardship of why you want it for zoning, for the ZBA. What's your hardship, or why do you think there's a hardship here that you need to go bigger than what's required by the town?
I didn't, like I say, I just wanted, because I like it a little bigger, that's all.
And I think in other words too, he also just didn't know when he constructed it that it was going to be violating the your zoning regulations. And then once it was up, then now he's like, okay, well, it's already up. I like it that big. And it was a genuine mistake from the very beginning.
I
You all
think.
set, Bob?
I think.
Go ahead, Tom.
Just to further explain what Commissioner Gross was asking about the pipe. You dug that hole in the back and you have downspouts. Now, where is that water ending up? There's a pool of water in one of these pictures here.
The downspout?
Yeah, it looks like you've connected all the downspouts to the ground and you have rock on top of it, it's crushed stone. And at the end is an open pipe, but this water here.
Yeah, I didn't finish that yet. But I mean, Erin came to my house the other day, last week, and she said, you got to pull a permit for that. You need to be approved from a wetland. Then I stopped everything, and I can, now I got to, of course, I got to pull a permit. We just apply it today. I mean, she helped me to apply all this paperwork for that.
All right, so where are you intentionally, where is this going to go?
To the street,
To the street?
yeah.
Is it going to go past that lady's house on Wheatfield Drive?
It's gonna turn to the front. ¿Cómo se dice Los Ángeles?
¿Dónde están las piedras?
90, at least.
So, just hold on one second. We got to bring it back. I mean, I know we have the picture of the drainage and the puddle, and we have those people complaining about it, but that's for inland wetlands to decide.
That's what Eddie
We
told
need
me,
to
yeah.
come back to whether we're going to approve this variance
Okay.
for the building.
And
Okay?
point of
I mean, I
order,
know
too.
we're all looking at things that are done, and we're looking at those pictures and everything else. Go ahead, Amy.
I have I'm going to give you a little timeline of what we're here to decide and how we got here and whether or not there was permits. I believe in your packet also, you have some correspondence from Erin O'Hare, and she gave the timeline. This all came about in September of 2024. The applicant had to go in front of the wetlands in order to get the in-ground pool and the pool house. It was identified as a 200-square-foot structure because it impacts the wetlands on that property, and the pool where it was being located. They got permitted. The pool company pulled the pool permit for the actual pool, and a pool house was constructed other than what was depicted in September of 2024. So when it is customary for the building department to wait to be called and request an inspection, so whether that occurred, one would assume, when they went out there, they found no permits for the structure. Wetlands had approved the location and size of the structure based on wetlands criteria. But again, what was erected was twice the size and taller than what was depicted to wetlands. The piping now is all being, the drainage issues are all being dealt with in wetlands. It's just to show the picture that it's compounding the issues on the property. It is not for you to decide. It does paint the picture of what's happening there. And it was our understanding that Mr. Tello is a builder, so should know that these requirements, town requirements, may vary town to town, but there certainly are town requirements to adhere to.
Thank you. Okay, and now that we're back to square one, anybody got any further questions for the applicant? You're good, Tom? Yeah, yeah. Bob, you're good?
Mr. Chairman, I have a question for Amy.
Go ahead.
So, did the wetlands have to approve the structure for the 200-square-foot structure?
Yes. And it was on his survey. It was depicted on the survey.
So, do they have to approve something if it's bigger?
Well, it certainly is not in keeping with their approval, but it's in the same location. So whether or not it has an impact further on wetlands or the increased size is further away, I can't answer that. But it certainly would impact.
So,
If they erected something in an alternate location and an alternate size, then they permitted.
so does it have to go back to wetlands?
They're
to
back in
approve
front of wetlands for other things.
On May 5th or 7th or something?
And wetlands, let me see. Yeah, she's got, again, this is in
May
her
7th, I think.
notations. Pool surrounds, so more than what was initially approved from wetlands would definitely have an impact and need them to return. Whether it was something they do administratively, I cannot answer, or a full meeting, but they are in violation currently because the drainage, as you see those pictures, was alternate to what they approved also. So they're going to be dealing that with wetlands as well.
So I guess I'm just wondering, do we have authority to approve something twice the size? Because I would think that that would impact
It's
wetlands.
regardless of wetlands. Take wetlands out of the equation.
Okay.
This is a structure that it was already erected without benefit of permits,
Yep.
twice the size as proposed, and also larger than your regulations allow and taller than your regulations allow. You are only to decide whether you are going to allow that to remain or not, because it is not allowed by our zoning regulations. Never mind the wetlands. What has to happen, that's a separate issue.
Okay.
So you have to sort of isolate. The only thing we are here for tonight is it's a 400 square foot structure where only 300 square feet is permitted maximum. It is 12.3 feet tall where only 10 feet is allowed. There is fixtures in there which would potentially create and define a dwelling unit. And it's already there.
Thank you.
Mr. Gross, go ahead.
To you, Amy, then, when they went before wetlands to build a 200-foot structure, do they show that they are bringing water and electricity into it? Could wetlands make that decision, or are they allowed to do that?
They're going to deal with any impacts on the wetlands. So the drainage and such, yes, but
But if these kind of structures, the 200-foot structures, are they allowed to build them with water, electricity in
we can
them?
certainly have electricity. You can certainly have water. Again, we don't want to create a potential, whether they're using it as such or not. We do not want to create what defines a dwelling unit.
Gotcha. So
Sanitary facilities. You can have a half bath, you can have a laundry sink, you can have a wet bar. You cannot have all the above. And
Understand.
if I can live there and not ever have to enter the house,
So they probably didn't show that because they didn't show anything. Thank you.
so, but plumbing is certainly permitted. Again, you
Right,
want to
but
have an
not to-
outdoor shower, don't have the rest of it.
But
Go.
not, right, exactly. So if your basement has just a toilet, then it's not a bathroom or anything like
It's
that.
not considered full sanitary facilities.
Correct. Can we ask what he has in there, or do we not know?
Well, he
What
said
kind of
it's not there yet.
or what do you have in your bathroom besides a toilet and a shower? Do you have a sink also? In that room, in the
In the
building
pool?
structure you're building?
In the pool house?
Yes.
There's nothing there now.
Your intent, but you're
So the shower he definitely wants to do. The toilet is negotiable. I mean, that doesn't have to be in there. There's a bathroom in the house. So if that is,
and no sink.
I mean, yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
if
well,
we don't have, the toilet, I mean, why are we gonna have the sink in there? I mean,
Okay,
we
but-
can just put the shower in there.
say that again then. So you're just going to put a shower, or you're going to put a toilet, and then you're going to put a
That's
sink?
what
and then
I mean, if we don't put the shower, we don't need the sink.
Right.
no, we don't put
No,
the
toilet.
toilet, then we
I
don't.
mean, I'm sorry, the toilet, yeah.
I would eliminate the shower. Plumbing is limited to a half bath fixture, or not at all. Certainly electric.
Yeah, I understand.
Go to the house to use the restroom or take a shower. Or if you had an outdoor spigot, we could do something to that, because nobody's going outside in January and taking a shower, so they're not going to.
Thank you.
Está bien, ponemos medio baño.
Anybody else got any questions up here? We're good? Is there anybody here to speak in favor of this application? Anybody here to speak against it? Hearing, seeing none. Do you have anything further you'd like to add?
Yes, he is just wondering if it would be allowed to do maybe a half bath and then a shower, an outdoor shower. Is that something that?
You don't want to define it as a dwelling unit, whether you're using it or not. And dwelling unit is defined as full sanitary, cooking, and sleeping facilities. When people have an illegal dwelling unit, we tell them to remove one of them. That would be entire kitchen, or what makes it a full bath. So the shower, and that would be up to the board if they think that an outdoor shower and a half bath would be sufficient. You can limit it to that. You can reword or you can eliminate plumbing altogether, and you could go in the house 20 feet away. So
We're all set, Amy?
I am.
Okay. Is there anything further you'd like to add before I close the public hearing?
No.
Okay, going to close the public hearing and open up for discussion and possible action by the board.
Mr. Chairman, make a motion for a variance request for an accessory structure of 400 square feet where 300 square feet is permitted to allow a 400 square foot pool house at 360 Woodhouse Avenue as shown on improvement location survey as built house lot 213, Woodhouse Avenue, dated April 11th, 1997, and submitted plans received 2/13 of 25, subjected to accessory structure may not be constructed with amenities defining a dwelling unit, full restroom and/or kitchen, or to be used as an accessory dwelling unit. So moved.
Second.
Motion to approve, Mr. Gross. This
No.
is for the size.
No to approve.
Mr. Wolfer,
No to approve.
Mr. Rice,
No to approve.
and Ms. Raditz,
No to approve.
and Chairman Russick.
No.
Make a motion for variance request for an accessory structure height of 12 foot 3 feet where 10-foot max is permitted to allow a pool house at 360 Woodhouse Avenue as shown on improvement location survey as built lot 2B. Woodhouse Avenue, dated April 12, 1997, and submitted plans received 2/13 of 2025, subjected to accessory. A structure may not be constructed with amenities defining a dwelling unit, full restroom and/or kitchen, or to be used in an accessory dwelling unit. So moved.
Second.
Motion to approve. This is for height. Mr. Gross.
No.
Mr. Wolfer,
No to approve.
Mr. Rice,
No.
and Ms. Raditz,
No to approve.
and Chairman Russick.
No. Both your variance requests have been denied.
Thank you, guys.
Good luck.
Thank you.
The last variance request is 25-004, a variance request for 4 Field Drive. Madam Secretary, do we have any correspondence?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, we have staff comments that read as follows. Applicant seeks variance approval for front yard of 31.7 feet, where 31.7 feet exists and 40 feet is required to allow a detached garage at 4 Field Drive in an R18 district. Applicant submitted a building permit application with accompanying zoning location survey and building plans and received zoning sign-off to proceed for a compliant detached garage. Applicant was granted the permit in June of '22 and proceeded with construction. In October of 2023, the property was cited by the building official for building code violations constructed other than as presented in front setback and exceeding allowable height due to full dormer not depicted on plans, as well as no permits for utility hookups, water, sewer, and gas. Violation issued from zoning in December 2023, following building department referral for location and height of accessory structure. Property owner applied for variance approval in July 2024 and was denied both front setback and height variance requests. Cease and desist order was issued December 2024 after 5 months with no further attempt for compliance. This application is for front setback only, as the applicant proposes to remove the dormer. The board must condition any approval on the dormer being fully removed and height restored to less than 15 feet, which is the compliant level. This office also suggests that the proposed garage may not be used as a dwelling unit. Water, sewer, and gas lines not properly permitted yet connected to a detached garage necessitates this additional condition of any approval. And that's it.
Thank you. Welcome. Please state your name and address for the record.
Anthony Mastriani, 4 Field Drive, Wallingford.
Okay, what we got going on?
Well, what we have going on is, number one, there is no water. There is no water, no gas to the building. That's absolutely wrong. There is a sewer that I have a permit for and a final inspection on. We moved this, we connected to the sewer line. We got a permit and we got a CO on it. The dormer has been removed all the way down, and the roof has been filled in. So that violation is gone, because the dormer's gone. So now we're down to front yard setback, and it's been a long, trying experience.
Okay, just a question about the sewer.
Yep.
Where's the sewer hooked up to?
Nothing.
I'm sorry?
It's not hooked up anywhere. It just comes to the slab in the garage. It was a clean out, and I moved it. It was so close, and I explained this to the sewer department. They're okay with it, that I moved the clean out right on the other side of the wall of the garage, and everything's fine. I can produce paperwork that says everything's fine.
Okay. I've been by. Yeah, the dormer's gone.
Yes.
When did you take the dormer down?
Right after winter. I'm an old man, and it was tough to get up there with ice and snow, so it was probably a month ago.
Okay. And you have plans to finish the roofing because it,
Yeah, I can't find it. It's obsolete now. That color blue is obsolete, so I'm looking for it. Yes,
okay.
absolutely. Definitely got to put a roof on it.
Okay, and as far as, no amenities are going to be up on that second floor or anything?
No, sir. It was a man cave from day one. I just have a couple collector cars and going to put memorabilia upstairs, and that's all it ever was going to be. That's it. I have nobody living in the house. I don't need the apartment. I don't need an apartment.
Okay. Anybody got any questions for the applicant? Bob?
Just the size of it fits regulations, the height of it?
The size of it is fine. It's where it was located. It is not. And I will add a note that the building official absolutely does not agree that there was any final inspections. There certainly isn't a CO without your approval that it be there, number one. And he said has not been resolved with any utilities being hooked. So, with the building department, there was a building permit pulled for this structure way back initially. And a survey provided. It was put in the wrong place and built larger than anticipated, because it wouldn't have needed zoning approval. It was located compliantly on the proposed plan. But certainly we've kept on tabs on where things stand with the building department, if these issues were resolved, so we could relay this information to you, the board, and have an informed decision beyond the scope of the front yard setback. But just point to make that they have absolutely not been resolved, according to the building department for the town.
Well,
But it is in the right, it is the right compliance size.
I must say, I disagree. And anyone who wants to stop over and see can be welcome to do it. When I say CO, I have a final inspection on the sewer line. That's what I meant. That has been inspected and okayed. I have no water going to the building. I have no gas going to the building. I do want to eventually have gas from the street put to the building for heating the garage. So I'm not going to run it anywhere else but from the street, and Eversource does that. So there will be no gas from the house going to the building, and the water line may go to the building. I'll hook up water from my house to the building just for a spigot or something, but that's it. So there is none. I welcome anyone that wants to stop out and see it to come on out. But that I can guarantee you. I took the dormer down. I'm sorry that this whole thing happened. purely nothing intentional, but it is what it is, and I'm doing what I can to make it right. To take that dormer down was a huge undertaking, and it's down.
Okay,
Just-
Bob, you
yeah.
want to finish?
Why, it was built in the wrong location.
Absolutely, absolutely.
It was built in the wrong location.
The stake said 10 feet. I put it at 10 feet. I didn't know.
State, or did you talk to the town?
No, the stake. The stakes.
stake, okay.
Yeah, when the surveyor put them on, I read them wrong or something, but what I did was, when I laid it out, I also looked up the street and I said, well, it's in line with everything else, so it must be right. That's all I did. And we poured the footings, they got inspected, everything all the way up got inspected, and now all of a sudden, it's in the wrong spot. So it's a pure mistake. I meant nothing by it.
Do you have records of everything being inspected? Andy?
Absolutely. The building
Were they-
officials do too.
Where was the footings and everything inspected when they were put in?
Yes.
You've been provided with the building permits file, including July of 2023, when, I believe it was, let's see.
Let's see, July.
Or, excuse me, yeah, the stop work order was issued by building. In May of 2023, the assistant building official advised that the homeowner tapped into the sewer lateral, water line, and brought gas underground to the new garage without permits, and water and sewer is required for any approvals for building to sign off. Gas line runs underground from the home to garage, and no sweeps were installed. This was during the course of the building permit, which we had signed off on, compliant location according to the survey. October 2023, violation of building code and ordered to abate was issued by the building department. December 2023, stop work order was followed up, served by the Connecticut Marshal. The plans from the original building permit application were submitted, or were included also, which did not include a dormer and included the proper survey. Let's see what else. October 2023, going back again, violation with zoning regs, electric service permit on hold. They will not issue permits until the zoning violation is cleared up.
Yeah, it's all primed, it's all set.
It's all tied together.
Yes, and when I went in to show them the sewer and the water had been removed, they said, until you go through zoning, we don't do anything. So as soon as something happens and a favorable thing, I'll go right to the building department and bring them back over and get everything fixed up, because it's been going for a year and a half.
You didn't bring any paperwork saying that there's nothing there, because they're saying there's stuff there.
Right, but there's nothing, no paperwork. I took it out the minute he said it can't be there. It's just out.
But you said you had water, said that they.
I have
it's out.
sewer, I have a sewer, and I'll present it to the zoning tomorrow morning. I'll get one, I'll get it. I'm sorry I didn't bring anything.
The water and sewer department needs to sign off on any building activity.
They did.
The building to the building department. Well, they must have missed it. So,
I have a copy of it.
Do you have it with you?
I don't have it with me, but I'll bring it tomorrow morning. I mean, I can do that.
What's that, Bob?
and that's out of our lane anyway. We're not here
Right.
about,
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I know.
just, once again, just paints the whole picture. It's not
Yes,
to,
yes. Ray, go ahead.
The only question I have is on the left side of the garage to the rear, I noticed an electric meter.
Yes, that was going to be a meter that was hooked up, and that's when all this started. I didn't know I was in any violations. I called for an inspection on that meter to get it hooked up, because it's a separate building, you know, so I was just going to have separate electric.
You
put
don't
in.
have power coming from the house
No.
to the garage?
Not at all. No,
We're
sir.
going to have a separate meter.
Yes, because it's a separate dwelling, a separate building. And that's when it got flagged for the dormer and whatever. That's how this whole thing started.
Okay.
So it's definitely a separate building. And it's only a car and storage.
Anybody else have any questions?
Bob, you good?
Good. Is anybody here to speak in favor of this application? Anybody here to speak against it? Hearing, seeing none. Do you have anything further you'd like to add before we close the public hearing?
No, I will definitely make whatever is outstanding correct, I promise. That I can tell you. If something seems to be outstanding, I'll fix it. But I took the dormer down as, what I had to do.
I'm going to close the public hearing, open up for discussion and possible action by the board.
Make a motion on a variance request for front yard of 31.7 feet where 40 feet is required to locate a detached garage at 4 Field Drive as shown on plot plan prepared for Janet Petruni of 4 Field Drive dated November 2nd, 2017, and revision dated March 22nd, 2024, and submitted plan received January 17, 2025, subject to dormer must be completely removed and height restored to compliant 15-foot maximum. Number 2, no portion or entirety of the garage may be constructed with amenities defining a dwelling unit, full restroom and/or kitchen, or used as an accessory dwelling unit. So moved.
Second.
Motion to approve, Mr. Gross.
No to approve.
Mr. Wolfer.
No to approve.
Mr. Rice.
No to approve.
Ms. Raddatz.
No to approve.
And Chairman Russick.
No, you've been denied.
So what do I have to do, take the garage down?
You'd have to talk to what you're,
Well, you can't have it where it is, so that would be the. Mhm. Or they can-
can I get a motion to approve the minutes, Tom?
I didn't get any minutes in my packet.
I didn't either.
Are you kidding me?
Did you get me?
That's a violation in itself.
What's that?
Tom didn't get any minutes in his packet.
I didn't.
I don't think anybody did.
No one did.
That's a violation right there.
The failure of
Violation.
staff.
Tom can't correct them. Where are we today?
Shame on me. I will give you minutes, yeah.
Well,
Twice,
so we
2
can't
months
approve-
worth next
We can't
month.
approve what we don't have. Do I get a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Hey, Amy,